Hello friends, we are going to see next topic from our subject Introduction to Management Accounting is working capital management. Every organization, commercial as well as non-commercial, requires some amount of fixed capital for procuring fixed asset like land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, etc. etc. In addition to fixed capital, organization require additional capital for financing day-to-day activities. Such capital which is required for financing day-to-day activities is called working capital. Working capital is required for smooth conduct of day-to-day business activities. It is the working capital which decides success or failure of organization, so it is nothing but the lifeblood of organization. Shortage of working capital has always been the biggest cause of business failure. Lack of considerable foresight in planning working capital need of the business has forced even profitable business entities, we can say blue chip companies, towards insolvency. Working capital is nothing but the warm blood passing through the arteries and veins of business. New firms wind up for want of working capital, even giant firms trouble from improper working capital management. Liquidity and profitability are the two aspects of any successful business. Liquidity depends on profitability of business activities, and profitability is hard to achieve without sufficient liquid resources. Both these aspects, liquidity and profitability, are closely related. Control of working capital and forecasting working capital is a continuous process and therefore part and parcel of overall management of business depends on working capital management. We are going to see the definition of working capital at first. First of all, let us see the definition of one of the well-known expert, Gerestenberg. Gerestenberg says circulating or working capital means current assets of a company that are changed into ordinary course of business from one form to another. As example, from cash to inventories, inventories to receivables, and receivable to cash, etc. Now see, this definition says that working or circulating capital, we can say, is nothing but current assets of company are changed in ordinary course of business in some other form. How? From cash to inventory, inventory to receivable, and receivable to cash. Means what? As a business, we purchase some goods from someone. That time, cash we are paying, and inventories or goods we are purchasing from our creditors. Then inventories to receivables. When we are selling goods to some customers, that time we are going to receive some amount in cash from them, but it is not immediately receiving, so it is receivables, maybe debtors or bills receivable. Thereafter what happens? We actually get cash from that receivable, means we encash that bills or bill of exchanges, or we get cash in some form from our debtors. So this process is nothing but circulating of working capital, converting cash into inventories, inventories into receivables, and receivables into cash. Then another definition is, very simple definition is that the excess of current assets over current liabilities is working capital. We know that assets which are used during the period of one operating cycle or for one accounting period are known as current assets. What is current liability? Current liabilities are nothing but the liabilities which are to be paid within one operating cycle or one accounting period. Which are the current asset? Cash, bank, debtors, prepaid expenses, income, outstanding, etc. etc. Which are current liabilities? Creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, income received in advance, etc. etc. So, working capital is nothing but current asset minus current liabilities. Then, another definition is there of Hogland, who says working capital is descriptive of that capital which is not fixed, but the more common use of working capital is to consider it as the difference between book value of the current asset and current liabilities. So from all these definitions we know the difference between current asset and current liability is nothing but working capital. If we can say our total of current assets is 4 lakh and total of current liabilities is 3 lakh, then our working capital is current assets 4 lakh minus current liability 3 lakh. 4 lakh minus 3 lakh means 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is our working capital, like that. So working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Now let us go towards the next part, which is classification of working capital. Now this term working capital is classified into some different parts. Which are they? Let us see. First classification is gross working capital and net working capital. What is that? We know current asset minus current liability is equal to working capital. Now what is gross working capital? Gross working capital means nothing but total current assets, and net working capital means nothing but current assets minus current liabilities. Okay. Gross working capital is equal to total current assets only. It is identified with current assets alone. It is the value of non-fixed asset of the enterprise and involves inventories, raw material, work in progress, finished goods, spares, consumable stores, all the receivables, short-term investment, advance to supplier, loans, sundry deposits with excise and customs, cash and bank balance, prepaid expense, outstanding incomes, etc. etc. Gross working capital indicate the quantum of working capital available to meet current liabilities. So in short, total of all current assets means gross working capital. Let us see net working capital. Net working capital is excess of current asset over current liabilities. So net working capital equals to total current asset minus total current liabilities. Now, very important thing is that this net working capital is defined as portion of current asset which is financed by long-term firms. This definition is given by Gutman. Now friends, to assess the real strength of working capital position, it is necessary to exclude non-moving obsolete items from inventories. Working capital therefore arrived at is termed as tangible working capital. In inventories, there are certain non-moving obsolete items which shows some figures against their name, but they are of no use, so they are deducted. So that net working capital is known as tangible working capital. Let us go towards next classification, permanent and temporary working capital. Now what is meant by permanent working capital? Permanent working capital represents the quantum of current assets required on continuing basis for an entire year. It is the minimum aggregate of cash, inventory, debtors maintained to carry on business operations smoothly at any time during accounting period. Permanent working capital is locked in the business as long as the business continues. The quantum of permanent working capital will vary according to the level of business activities from time to time. Now this permanent working capital is divided into two parts. Let us say which are they. First is initial working capital and second is regular working capital. What is mean by initial working capital? The amount of working capital required at the inception of organization, beginning of the organization, is called initial working capital. In initial stage, when the revenues are not regular, it may be difficult for a company to obtain credit from banks. At the same time, it may require to grant credit to its customers. In such a case, adequate working capital is required to activate the circulation of capital and keep it moving till the collection from debtors and other cash receipts exceed the payment. So, during the initial stages of business, the working capital which is required is known as initial working capital. Let us go towards next part, regular working capital. Regular working capital is the amount of working capital required for the continuous operations of enterprise. It refers to the excess of current asset over current liabilities in any organization. Minimum stock of material, finished goods, cash, etc. is required to be maintained for smooth working to meet immediate obligations. All these are called regular working capital. Let us go towards temporary working capital. Now, what is temporary working capital? When we say the term temporary working capital, it is the working capital which is for temporary period, not for all time. So it is called also variable working capital. It is influenced by seasonal fluctuations of business concern. It is of two types, seasonal working capital and special working capital. Now, what is meant by seasonal working capital? It is the amount of working capital required at stated intervals to meet the changing seasonal requirements. When the season approaches, business needs more funds to meet seasonal pressure of demand. Let us see one example. Textile dealer would require large amount of fund a few months before Diwali, because that time we are purchasing new clothes or clothing. So more demand is there, more production is required, more sale is there, more stock is to be made. So before Diwali season, that particular clothing trader, textile industry requires more working capital. That is what is called seasonal working capital. Then there is special working capital. This is the amount of working capital required to meet some unforeseen events that may arise during the course of business. Any organization must have additional funds to meet such contingencies. Let's say one example, sudden increase in demand. Another is there is strike, there is fire to the godown, there is situation of floods, some drastic changes in taxation system by the government. That time in emergency some funds are required, that is called special working capital. Let us go towards next part, that is positive and negative working capital. When we say positive and negative working capital, what is that? They are like very important terms, accounting terms. What is mean by positive working capital? When current assets exceed current liabilities, that is positive working capital. What is negative working capital? When current liabilities exceed current asset, it is negative working capital. Such situations arises when firm is having in crisis, that time there is negative working capital. So when we say positive working capital, it is nothing but excess of current assets over current liabilities. When we say negative working capital, it is excess of current liabilities over current assets. Now, next part is of cash and Net liquid asset concept of working capital. What is that? Cash working capital is part of gross working capital, which is essential in liquidity of business need of cash resources. It is calculated from the items appearing in the balance sheet. It shows the real flow of money. It is considered to be most realistic approach. Now friends, what we have seen about working capital, let us summarize in Marathi for your understanding. ज्यावेळी आपण वर्किंग कॅपिटल असं म्हणतो त्यावेळी आपल्या बिझनेसकडे असलेल्या करंट असेटची टोटल करायची, त्याच्यामधून करंट लायबिलिटीजची टोटल करून मायनस करायची, जो फरक येतो त्याला म्हणतात वर्किंग कॅपिटल. सो वर्किंग कॅपिटल बरोबर करंट असेट्स वजा करंट लायबिलिटीज. करंट असेट म्हणजे असेट साईडला येतात त्या सगळ्या करंट असेट ज्याच्यामध्ये स्टॉक, डेटर्स, बिल्स रिसिवेबल, प्रीपेड एक्सपेन्स, आउटस्टँडिंग इन्कम एटसेट्रा कॅश, बँक, या सगळ्या. करंट लायबिलिटी ज्यावेळी आपण म्हणतो तेव्हा त्या लायबिलिटी साईडला असतात क्रेडिटर्स, बिल्स पेएबल, आउटस्टँडिंग एक्सपेन्सेस, इन्कम रिसिव्ड इन ॲडव्हान्स, त्याच्यानंतर बँक ओव्हरड्राफ्ट एटसेट्रा त्या सगळ्या. त्यामुळे वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे करंट असेट वजा करंट लायबिलिटीज. त्याच्यानंतर क्लासिफिकेशन बघत असताना पहिला आपण ग्रॉस वर्किंग कॅपिटल बघितलं. आपल्याकडे असलेल्या ज्या एकूण करंट असेट आहेत त्यांची टोटल म्हणजे ग्रॉस वर्किंग कॅपिटल. नेट वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, तर सगळ्या करंट असेटमधनं सगळ्या करंट लायबिलिटीज वजा केल्या की जे राहतं त्याला म्हणतात नेट वर्किंग कॅपिटल. त्यामुळं नेट वर्किंग कॅपिटल कसं काढायचं, तर नेट वर्किंग कॅपिटल बरोबर करंट असेट वजा करंट लायबिलिटीज. त्याच्यानंतर परमनंट आणि टेम्पररी वर्किंग कॅपिटल बघत असताना परमनंट वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, तर वर्षभर आपल्याकडं जे पैसे करंट असेटमध्ये कायमस्वरूपी वर्षभर गुंतलेले राहतात त्याला म्हणतात परमनंट वर्किंग कॅपिटल. टेम्पररी वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, तर एखाद्या विशिष्ट सीझनमध्ये ठराविक काळातच जे पैसे आपले गुंतलेले राहतात त्याला म्हणतात टेम्पररी वर्किंग कॅपिटल. त्यालाच व्हेरिएबल वर्किंग कॅपिटल असं पण म्हणतात. परमनंट वर्किंग कॅपिटलचे दोन प्रकार पडतात, इनिशियल वर्किंग कॅपिटल आणि रेग्युलर वर्किंग कॅपिटल. इनिशियल वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय असतं, तर ज्यावेळी बिझनेस सुरू होत असतो अशावेळी बाजारपेठेत आपला नावलौकिक नसतो, बँका लोन द्यायला, क्रेडिट द्यायला तयार नसतात, सप्लायर्स आपले क्रेडिट द्यायला तयार नसतात, कस्टमर्सला आपल्याला उधारीवर माल विकावा लागत असतो. अशावेळी आपल्याला जास्त कॅपिटलची गरज असते बिझनेस सुरू होत असताना, त्याला म्हणतात इनिशियल वर्किंग कॅपिटल. परमनंट वर्किंग कॅपिटलचा दुसरा प्रकार असतो तो म्हणजे रेग्युलर वर्किंग कॅपिटल. काही गोष्टी अशा असतात की ज्याच्यामध्ये ठराविक कॅश ही आपली कायम वर्किंग कॅपिटलच्या रूपात करंट असेटमध्ये गुंतून राहते. मग तो स्टॉक ऑफ मटेरियल करणं असेल किंवा ठराविक लिक्विड कॅश ठेवणं असेल, त्या सगळ्या गोष्टींना म्हणतात रेग्युलर वर्किंग कॅपिटल. त्यामुळे जेव्हा आपण परमनंट वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणतो तेव्हा त्याच्यात इनिशियल वर्किंग कॅपिटल असतं आणि रेग्युलर वर्किंग कॅपिटल असतं. त्याच्यानंतर आपण बघितलं होतं टेम्पररी वर्किंग कॅपिटल. टेम्पररी वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, तर जे वर्किंग कॅपिटल ठराविक सीझनमध्येच आपल्याला लागत असतं त्याला टेम्पररी किंवा व्हेरिएबल वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणतात. हे कधी लागतं, तर त्याचे दोन प्रकार आहेत. एक असतं सीझनल वर्किंग कॅपिटल आणि दुसरं असतं स्पेशल वर्किंग कॅपिटल. आता दिवाळीचा सीझन जर येणार असेल तर जो टेक्स्टाईल डीलर आहे, कपड्याचा उद्योग करणारा व्यापारी, त्याला जास्त वर्किंग कॅपिटल लागेल. का लागेल, तर त्या काळात कपड्याला मोठ्या प्रमाणात मागणी असेल, त्यामुळे जास्त स्टॉक करावा लागेल, जास्त कच्चा माल घ्यावा लागेल. त्यामुळं त्या काळात त्याला जास्त वर्किंग कॅपिटल ठेवणं हे गरजेचं असतं. त्याच्यानंतर दुसरं जे असतं ते असतं स्पेशल वर्किंग कॅपिटल. एखादी विशिष्ट घटना घडली तर हे लागू शकतं. आता समजा कामगारांचा संप झाला, अचानकपणे बाजारातली मागणी वाढली, कुठंतरी आग लागली गोडाऊनला, पुराचा धोका निर्माण झाला, आणखी काही नैसर्गिक आपत्ती आली, सरकारनं अचानक त्यांची टॅक्सेशन पॉलिसी बदलली, तर अशा वेळी अचानक आपल्याला मोठ्या प्रमाणात लिक्विड कॅश आपल्या हातात लागते, त्याला म्हटलं जातं स्पेशल वर्किंग कॅपिटल. त्याच्यानंतर जे आपण बघितलं पॉझिटिव्ह आणि निगेटिव्ह वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, तर आपल्याला माहिती आहे करंट असेटची जी टोटल आहे ती जर करंट लायबिलिटीच्या टोटलपेक्षा जास्त असेल, करंट असेटची टोटल जास्त, करंट लायबिलिटीची टोटल कमी, अशी जर सिच्युएशन आली तर त्याला म्हणायचं पॉझिटिव्ह वर्किंग कॅपिटल. याच्या उलट निगेटिव्ह वर्किंग कॅपिटल म्हणजे काय, आपल्या करंट असेटपेक्षा जर आपल्या करंट लायबिलिटी जास्त असतील तर त्याला म्हणतात निगेटिव्ह वर्किंग कॅपिटल. करंट असेट कमी, करंट लायबिलिटी जास्त, अशी सिच्युएशन म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह वर्किंग कॅपिटल. त्याच्यानंतर आपण बघितलं होतं कॅश अँड नेट लिक्विड असेट कन्सेप्ट ऑफ वर्किंग कॅपिटल. म्हणजे काय, तर आपल्याकडं वर्किंग कॅपिटल असतं, पण ते वर्किंग कॅपिटल लिक्विड फॉर्ममध्ये किती आहे, म्हणजे कॅश बँक बॅलन्समध्ये किती आहे, जे आपण लगेच वापरू शकू, त्याला म्हटलं जातं कॅश अँड नेट लिक्विड असेट कन्सेप्ट ऑफ वर्किंग कॅपिटल. जेव्हा आपण आपली बॅलन्स शीट बघतो, असेट साईड बघतो, तेव्हा ते आपल्या लक्षात येतं की कॅश रिसोर्सेसचा बॅलन्स किती दिलेला आहे, त्याच्यावरून ते आपण ठरवू शकतो. तर हे काही तुम्हाला समजण्यासाठी मराठीमधून मी ठराविक गोष्टी सांग. सी फॅक्टर्स डिटरमाइनिंग वर्किंग कॅपिटल. दीज आर द फॅक्टर्स ऑन विच हाऊ मच वर्किंग कॅपिटल इज रिक्वायर्ड दॅट इज डिसाइडेड. लेट अस सी विच आर दे. It includes nature of business, production policies, production process, size of business unit, terms of purchases and sales, turnover of inventories, turnover of circulating capital, seasonal variations, dividend policy, business cycle, inflation and changes in technology. Let us see one by one. First factor is nature of business. The quantum of working capital required by a business organization is related to type and nature of its business activities. Public utilities require less working capital as they sell services on cash basis only. A trading organization requires proportionately larger working capital as it has to carry large inventories and allow credit to customers. Manufacturing concern requires more working capital as compared to firm engaged in trading. However, the requirement of working capital varies from industry to industry and from time to time in the same industry. Let us see second, that is production policies. Production policies of business organization throws impact on requirement of working capital. Production policies depend on nature of product. Level of production decide the investment in current asset, which in turn decides the quantum of working capital required. So if more production is there, more working capital required, and if less production is there, less working capital is required. Let us see third, that is production process. Production process has impact over working capital requirement. If the production process takes long time, greater amount of working capital required. If production process is simple, it takes very short time, that time required working capital is comparatively less. Let us see fourth, that is size of business unit. When we say size of business unit, the amount of working capital required depends on the scale of operations of the business organization. Large organizations require more working capital as compared to small business organizations. Next is terms of purchases and sales. Now, a business organization making purchase on credit and selling on cash require less working capital because we are purchasing on credit, so we are getting credit from supplier. We don't have to pay cash to the suppliers at the time of purchase of raw material. On the other hand, we are taking hard cash from our customers, so we don't have to give them credit. So we are having more cash in our hand, so less working capital is required comparatively. On the other hand, when organizations selling on credit require more working capital. When we are giving credit to our customers, that time we are not getting cash immediately on sale, so we require more working capital in our hands. Next is turnover of inventories. Now, a business organization having low inventory turnover would necessitate more working capital. On the other hand, high inventory turnover would necessitate limited working capital. See, if turnover is low, then our working capital remains locked in that inventory, so it requires more working capital. If turnover is high, immediately we are selling whatever is we have, that time lock-in period in our inventory is less, so less working capital is required. Next is turnover of circulating capital. The speed with which circulating capital completes its cycle, that is conversion of cash into inventory of raw material into finished goods into debts or debtors, and debtors into cash, that decides the working capital requirement of organization. Slow movement of working capital require larger provision for working capital. Fast movement require less provision for working capital. Let us see how. If from purchase of raw material from creditor or supplier to the receiving cash for selling goods to our customer, 2 months are required in one case and 10 months are required in other case. In case of 2 months, we are getting liquid cash in just 2 months. That time less working capital is required. If 10 months cash is blocked, that time more working capital is required. So if our operating cycle is less, that is of 2 months, then less cash is required. Our operating cycle is of 10 months, more period, more working capital is required. Next is seasonal variations. In case of seasonal industries like sugar, oil mill, more working capital is required during peak season as compared to slack season. If we are having sugar industry, what is there? During the period of preparing sugar from sugarcane, peak period is there. That time more working capital is required. During monsoon period or rainy season, almost all sugarcane industries are not working. That time less working capital is okay. In case of our fruit processing industry, mango processing industry in our Konkan region, what is there? From March till June, July, peak season is there. More working capital is required. Then from that August till even January, February, slack season is there or almost production is stopped. That time less working capital is okay with. Next is dividend policies. Now, dividend policies of business organization influence requirement of working capital. If liberal dividend policy is there, more working capital is necessary. If dividend policy is not liberal, less working capital is necessary. In case of partnership firm, policy of drawing of partner is there. Partner is taking drawings, then more working capital is required. If less drawings are taken by the partner, less working capital is necessary. Then business cycle. Business depends on its cycles. The period of prosperity, boom, decline. During the period of depression, different working capital requirement is there. More working capital is required during prosperity because business is flourishing, full flow of activities is there. During depression, less working capital is necessary because production is less, sale is less, so need of working capital is also less. Let us see inflation. A business concern require more working capital during inflation. Inflation means what? There is price rise. We are giving 10 rupees for one unit and we are giving 20 rupees for that same unit because of inflation. From 10 price increases to 20. So whatever working capital is required also get more need of that. So during the period of inflation, more working capital is required. Then there is changes in technology. Now changes in technology of production have impact on need of working capital. For X technology, whatever production we are making, whatever working capital we are required for bringing that new Y technology, need of working capital also changes, because bringing that particular technology is work of fixed capital, that doesn't matter. But for day to day activities, the need of working capital also changes with change in technology. So when we bring new technology, that time whatever working capital is required, that also changes. So we have seen in this particular lecture what is mean by working capital, which are the types of working capital, and which are the factors determining working capital requirement. Let us stop. Thank you.